Hi, Steve here from Sleepy Robot Photography. Today we're popping down to the magnificent Cletley House to have a look at some work by fellow photographer Graham Harris. He took a visit over to Chernobyl earlier in the year, and we're going to go down and have a look at some of the images down there and his impression on the landscape that's been left after the horrific accident. So join us and pop on down and see what we can see. Graham Harris, pleased to meet you. How you doing?
Shemai.
Shemai. So tell us about your trip to Chernobyl.
I went to Chernobyl.
Fantastic.
And it was a good trip.
Yeah, brilliant, brilliant. What did you see while you were there then?
I saw a lot of empty buildings.
Fantastic.
Because nobody lives there. And I glow in the dark.
Do you? Could you demonstrate if we switch the lights on?
Yeah. No, seriously, it was a really, really good experience. It wasn't a holiday, it was more of an adventure. And it's a bizarre sort of place, very eerie. You don't see anybody, you walk around in people's homes and there's bits left behind which, show that people used to live there. But there's nobody about.
People sort of worry about going to somewhere like Chernobyl because obviously it's radioactive.
You glow in the dark.
Yeah, so I mean, what's the deal with going there then?
There are certain parts of the exclusion zone which you don't go to for obvious reasons, and there are certain places. There's one park called the Red Forest which took the full brunt of the explosion from the power station, which is still highly radioactive, and things like grass and trees and undergrowth hold a lot of radioactivity. Dust and that type of sort of scenario, like in the swimming pool here, where there's a lot of dust and soil and what have you, that holds a lot of radioactivity, whereas surfaces, solid surfaces are not so much of an issue. When you're wandering round, you're told not to sit down. You're told not to put your bag down anywhere. And every day when we go back to catch the train back to civilization, we had to go through radioactivity checks. And if they did find that you had an item of clothing which was glowing in the dark, they'd confiscate it.
Walk over the net.
Yeah. I mean, after a while, you get quite blasé about it. When you arrive there, first of all, you think, ooh, this is quite risky, it's quite dangerous.
Yeah.
But you can't smell it, you can't taste it, you can't see it, and after a while it just becomes the norm. So it is what it is, but you've got to live life on the edge to get the rewards, I suppose. And to me, this is something I've always wanted to do. If it cuts a week off my life, I don't have a problem with that.
So could you talk to us about a couple of images? One of my personal favourites you're stood by here, this image here. What's the story behind this one?
This was the Riverside Cafe, and from the outside it just looked like a normal building, and then you come round and go through the entrance, and then because obviously the stained glass windows they were backlit, all of a sudden you were viewing this amazing spectrum of colour which you couldn't see anywhere else, and it was just absolutely incredible. But back in the day you had river tours coming out from this area.
When it was still a village.
Yeah, and they would take pleasure cruises up and down the river Pripyat, and actually in one of the other photos you'll see in a minute, the boat that used to operate from the cafe is just up the river, and it's just sitting there in the frozen.
That's the image over there, is it?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. One of the other ones, Jen's favourite image was this one here, the Palace of Culture.
Yeah.
What's the story behind that one?
This is the central square of Pripyat, which is the city in the region of Chernobyl. It's surrounded. The city itself is predominantly tower blocks, and Eastern European tower blocks are all the same. Right. If I had a flat and you had a flat and Jen had a flat, they'd all be the same design, same size, same shape, except for the Communist Party echelon would live in bigger flats, but everybody would have the same. Now, in the centre, the tower blocks surrounded the centre, and this is the town centre, the city centre. The Palace of Culture was like the leisure centre, come museum. They'd have a cinema, lecture theatre in there. There were exhibits and cafes. And considering what we've been told from the Soviet era, that there wasn't a lot going on, I was pleasantly surprised that they had facilities like this.
Yeah, it's not the impression you get of everyone driving around in
exactly.
kind of like dark times.
Yeah. And there were murals on the wall. The walls were highly decorated and painted.
Yeah, we've seen some of that on the
which is unusual.
Painting over there at the post office. So if people want to know a little bit more about the sort of photos you've taken with your visit, how can they find out more?
Well, if you go to my website, which is gphotography.org.uk, you'll see my full contact details online. Or if you go onto the wonderful Book of Many Faces, look me up, let's chat.
Fantastic. And I believe you've got a talk that's going on in the camera clubs.
Yeah, I'm doing a few camera clubs in the new year. It's going to be something a little bit different. It's not just going to be showing pretty pictures. I'm hoping to do some video and some audio as well. So it's a bit of a multimedia sort of experience, hopefully. But I haven't started it yet, so it could be totally disastrous. So, fingers crossed.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
My fellow photographer, Graham Harris, who's Hi, Steve. Hi, Steve here from Sleepy Off. Right, serious now. Magnificent Cletley House to have a look at an exhibition by fellow photographer Graham.